Hey guys, this is my third time making this video because the sound wasn't working, and then two people called me in the other one, and so I'm trying it again. So here we go. This video is about improper fractions and mixed numbers and how to convert them from one to the other. So if I give you an improper fraction, you're supposed to be able to convert it to a mixed number, and that just means you're changing it to a mixed number. If I give you a mixed number, you're supposed to be able to convert it to an improper fraction. So we're going to practice that, and I want you to have a piece of paper and pencil so you can practice with me, just like we were at school. So let's talk just for a second about these fractions. So um, you know about fractions from last year, and even second grade you learned about fractions. So we're just kind of really starting fractions in fourth grade and what that looks like. And they get quite a bit more difficult than what you learned last year. But you need to know that fractions are parts of a whole. Okay, it's just when you have a whole object or a set of things and you're talking about parts of them. Okay, improper fractions means that you have a fraction that's greater than a whole. And we know that a fraction is greater than a whole when the numerator is greater than the denominator, because the denominator is telling us how many pieces it takes to make one whole. So if it takes 4 pieces to make a whole and you have 7 pieces, then you know that you have more than a whole there. A mixed number is just when you are showing, okay, out of all of these parts, how many wholes can I create if I were to put them together, and how many parts would be left over? So you need to be able to convert back and forth between the two of them. And I want you to be drawing models because you're at the beginning stages of this, and you are not ready to just start using the algorithm and start adding and subtracting, because you just haven't had enough practice at it to be to not fall for tricks there. Some of them are going to be easy enough that you can do that. If you have 3/10 plus 3/10, I'm not going to expect you to draw a model of that. You know that that's going to be 6/10. Okay, that's not difficult. You need to draw a model for that, that's fine. But when you have mixed numbers and improper fractions, there are some situations where things can just get kind of tricky and confusing. So I want you to be drawing models for right now. Okay, I don't know what I was talking about because my phone started ringing and I had to pause it. So coming back, we're going to practice a couple of these together. I want you to have pencil and paper. Here we go. Let's say that I was doing 18/5, and I want you to convert that to a mixed number. So we're going to do this one together. How many pieces does it take to make a whole? It takes 5 pieces to make a whole. How many pieces do I have? I have 18. So I'm going to draw 18, or you can use your counters. Okay. And now if I'm wanting to make a mixed number, my job is just to see how many wholes can I make out of that and how many parts would be left over. So if it takes 5 pieces to make a whole, there's 1 whole, there's 2, there's 3 wholes, and I see that there's 1, 2, 3/5 that are left over. Make sure that when you are doing the leftover part that you are including the denominator, because it's not just 3 left over, it's 3/5 left over. So make sure you're making that a fraction. So 18/5 is equal to 3 wholes and 3/5. Now I want you to try one. Let's see. Let's try this one. I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to draw me a model, or you can use your counters, that would show me the mixed number for 22/6. All right, I hope you paused the video and worked this out. Now let's work it out together. So the first thing that I ask myself is, how many pieces does it take to make a whole? It takes 6 pieces to make a whole. I know that because the denominator is 6. How many 6 do I have? I have 22 of them. So you either should have gotten out 22 counters, or you should have drawn 22 circles. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay? So now we're going to go see how many holes can we create out of this and how many parts would be left over. So I know it takes 6 pieces to make a hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 3. So 3 holes. How many parts are left over? There are 4 parts left over, but that's not just the number 4, it's for 6 because I'm talking about 6. Each circle is worth 1/6. So that would be 3 holes and 4 6. All right, let's talk about some issues that you guys have whenever we draw models. We've talked about this before when we did division, when we did multiplication. If you are drawing your circles unorganized and they're all over the place or they're dots and you can't tell what's what, this is going to be really difficult for you because you're not keeping your work organized. It's very important that you're drawing the counters as a good circle, not a dot or a slash or anything else, but a good circle. And that you are keeping your circles in rows that are organized. So I don't have one here and then one here and then one here and then one here, because then when you go back and you try to make groups, that's where you're like drawing lines all over the place and you can't tell what's in a group and what's not in a group. And you just end up with a mess and you make careless mistakes. Okay. So make sure you are keeping your circles in rows, that they're organized, that you can tell that they are a circle. That's going to keep you from making a careless mistake. All right, so now let's flip-flop it and let's do a mixed number and let's convert it to an improper fraction. So we're going to do this one together. Let's say that I had 2 wholes and 6/8. And I want to make that be an improper fraction. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out how many pieces does it take to make a whole. It takes 8 pieces to make a whole. How do I know that? The denominator is 8. So how many holes do I have? I have 2 holes, so that means I need 2 groups of 8. So there's 1 hole. There's 2 holes. And then I also have 6/8 left over. Okay, so that's what that picture would look like. That's a model of 2 holes and 6/8. And my job is to figure out the improper fraction for that. So an improper fraction is just telling me how many total pieces is that all together. So each one of those circles represents an 8. I know that this row, since that was a hole, that's 8/8 right there. This would be another 8/8. So 8/8 plus 8 more 8s would be 16/8. Okay, that would be 2 holes. So I'm at 16/8, 17/8, 18/8, 19/8, 20/8, 21/8, 22/8. 22/8 is the improper fraction for that mixed number. Okay, and again, all I was doing was counting how many total pieces did I have? How many counters did I have? How many circles did I draw? I drew 22 circles, and each one of those circles represented an 8, so 22/8. The next one I want you to try, so I'm going to write it down, and then I want you to pause the video, and I want you to work it out. 5 3/9. I want you to pause the video, draw me a model or use your counters, and I want you to tell me what would the improper fraction for 5 3/9 be. Okay, I hope you worked that out. I'm going to work it out with you, and let's see if you get the same thing that I get. So first thing I have to ask myself, how many pieces does it take to make a whole? It takes 9 pieces to make a whole. How do I know that? The denominator is 9. So I have 5 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 1 hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, that's 5. 1, 2, 3. Notice that I kept all of my circles in nice, neat, organized rows. Okay, it's important. So now my job is just to count how many circles are there and tell how many nights that would be. So I know that there are 9 in each one of these rows, so I'm going to skip count by nines. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 46, 47, 48. There are 48 circles here. Each one of those circles represents a ninth. So it's 48 ninths. All right. So now I want you to do the assignment that I have made about mixed numbers and improper fractions. It's only 6 questions. I want you to draw models, just like we have drawn in this video. You can either do it on Google Classroom and turn it into me, or if you have a packet, you can work it out on the packet and you'll turn that into me later too. Okay? Let me know if you need help.